What is up, guys? It's your boy King Khan back at it again with another video, and we're gonna be continuing the last part of the Stanley Parable. Now I know this probably you must be wondering like, why is this the last one when there's so many more endings and so many more achievements that we can uncover, like all this right here. But I will say the thing is the fact that even though the game is fun, there's a lot of secrets, endings and things that you need to uncover, and I want to spend time in it, but due to my ability to not edit as well as other people can, I have to keep the videos short and minimal, and more just and at the end of the day I have to have fun with it, and I don't want to spend too much time into this. I already spent 2 episodes in it. I don't think I can do any more than this last one. So in this episode I'm gonna go for a 20 to 30 minute mark video and see what other endings we can go in. Last time that we tried to do last time we played Stanley Parable, it turned out that we actually uncovered one of the endings where I'm gonna actually just decrease the master volume like to halfway and the music volume to halfway as well, because last time when I was looking at the recording, that it was so loud to the point where you can't even hear what I was saying. So now there we go. I think it should be better. But yeah, last time that we played, we uncovered one of the endings, which was an achievement, was the good ending, where we were able to escape the factory or company that Stanley works in. And then right after we uncovered that, we saw that there's a second option, because you have to press a button on and off to stop the whole mind control thing. And in the video, I also pressed the on button first, which would help me escape the. No, I pressed the off button, which helped me escape the company. But then I went back and I pressed the on button, and it turned out that the storyteller or the narrator started a detonation time where the whole building was gonna explode, and I couldn't find an exit to leave. I think there was an exit because we saw that in the video that there was a door that opened and it was leading somewhere, but I either didn't get to the door quickly enough, or there has to be some way. I believe there is some way to escape that. I don't think they'll just let you die like that unless that is one of the endings that they want to happen, but that's what happened. So now we're gonna just continue, and what we're gonna do this time is that we're gonna follow the narrator. But if you guys remember, before we entered to the place where it had all the lights and the cameras of each office in the building, or each room in the building, before that there was a pathway to the left called escape. Now I don't know whether that will help escape the building or is a trick or the plan, and that's where we're here to find out. That's the one that I'm gonna go for, hopefully. But yeah, so I hope you guys are doing well. I know I am, even though Corona is still going on. I'm staying indoors, and I hope you guys are try to stay safe. And I just ate, so my stomach's full right now. But I am ready to play some more Stanley Parable. After this, I have a very exciting game that I'm gonna be playing, but I'm gonna be really scared. And yes, if you haven't realized, it is a horror game. So I'm gonna
This
click
is the
skip. Okay. All right, let's continue. All right. Well, I'll tell you near the end of the video
co-workers were
what
gone.
we're gonna do.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
Yeah,
he
I know.
simply
He
missed
goes
a
to the
memo.
meeting room. He doesn't see anybody there. He goes to his boss. He doesn't see his boss.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright, here we
Yet
go.
there was not a single person here
I
either.
think I'm gonna let him
Feeling
talk,
a
so
wave
then
of
I don't
disbelief,
make it seem like
Stanley
I'm
decided
going
to
ahead
go
of him.
up to his boss's office, hoping he
Okay.
might find an answer there.
Let's go to the boss's office, open the door, and go through the escape. Which way is it?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I think there's a downstairs too. I guess we should go downstairs as well at one point. maybe I should continue with the video. So we can go downstairs. I know his boss
Stepping
wasn't
into
here
his
either.
manager's office,
And
Stanley
we're
was
gonna
once
open the
again
door.
stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley
Alright.
wondered in disbelief who orchestrated
I don't even
this.
remember.
What
Or I
dark
would have just put
secret
it in
was being
already.
held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's
Oh,
desk
I could have
guarded
not
the
known
terrible
because
truth
this is not
that his
my
boss
this
had
is my
been
first
keeping from
time
him.
doing this.
And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret pin number.
284645.
2845. But
Yeah.
yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code. by sheer
Amazing.
luck. Amazing.
I know.
He stepped into the newly
sheer
opened
luck.
passageway.
Nothing's over there, I think, as far as I know. And I don't think I want to go there. That looks really dark, and I'm too scared. Yeah. Oh, these loading screens are so annoying. They take so freaking long. God damn. Are we there? Oh. That was weird. It just refreshed. And there we go. Okay, there we go.
Descending deeper into the building,
Alright,
Stanley
oh,
realized
I'm
he felt
scared,
a bit
man. I
peculiar.
feel like I'm gonna be running
It
for my
was a
life.
stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself,
The
to
question the nature of
his
the
job.
job. You should be doing that in the
This
beginning,
now,
bro.
when for
Who
years
doesn't
it
question
had
the nature
never
of the
occurred to
job?
him. This question would not go unanswered for long.
Yeah, we're not gonna answer for long. Alright, if we continue here.
Stanley
this
walked
way.
straight ahead
Alright, so
through
there's
the
a
large
mind
door
control
that
filler
read
where we're going to
Mind
escape.
Control Facility.
Alright, let's see what happens.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
I mean, this is a
The door
long
behind
hallway.
him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
This is a really long
At this
hallway.
point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Alright, let's confront our death. Oh, did we actually die? Did we actually die? It says loading. So maybe we are going somewhere? Or is it just going back to the first beginning? Oh, we're going somewhere! Oh, cool. Oh my god, this is so scary. There's no light.
As
Oh
the
my
machine
God.
whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Is this actually how it ends? Alright. What?
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a
What?
single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Wait. What? Wait, what? I am so confused. Wait, was that another narrator? The Stanley.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the
What?
narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Oh, I remember this.
When every path you can walk has been created for you
I
long in
remember
advance,
this.
death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Huh. I don't remember. I mean, I do remember this, but I don't remember. I know there was like this museum-looking kind of aspect of the game, but what? The nature paintings, right? Because there were all of them. Then there's the Stanley's computer. Each design of the office layout. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development through the core, though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. Wait, okay, so where are the two doors? Oh, the two doors are right here. Okay, corridor. The pacing of this opening section was important to get right. This corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the two doors in a good time. What does it mean by good time? Meaning in like a timely manner? Or like, oh, if you take your time? What does it mean in a... I'm confused about the door in a good time. Huh. But that's crazy. There's a narrator of Stanley. Filing cabinets, that's all the filing cabinets, right? There's this one of the many desks that looks the same. There's 001, 02, these are office doors, the office. Oh, the button sounds right, because okay, a section of the sounds used throughout the game where buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Oh. The buttons really did mean nothing. And then, oh my god, the credits. Office computers. Oh, one has solitaire, one has employee database. These are credits. Wait, this is the end of the actual game. What? By the way, shout out to everyone here. Like, it's been, I think, what, I think I said 10 years since the game came out or something along this line. 10 years or less. And the game is still being played, so shout out to you guys. Let's go left first. What's happening here? The office. What is this? Maintenance room. An early version of the maintenance room. Was I here at one point? I don't remember. 431 to 436. Then the printing around space. Okay. Let's go up the stairs, see what's there. The point of Stanley Parable HD remix is to lose. The Archer was right. Am I going right? Maybe it isn't the same image I was was that clock there before? I don't remember. How do I go back? Can you check for me? More endings, fewer endings, more narratives, fewer narratives, more Stanley, less Stanley. There are screenshots of the Stanley Parable, no remix. The point of the Stanley Parable HD remix is to win. The point of the... Okay, I already read that. Greenlight. In September 2012, we submitted the Stanley Parable to Greenlight, Valve's process of approving games for Steam. The Greenlight page had only a series of cryptic photos, which were still enough to win the community's approval. Huh, were they? What? Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. Huh, that's actually pretty interesting. I'm gonna say it's a clever idea. I think it is too... I would agree that does sound too jokey and on the nose. The version that they have right now is really more interesting because it dives into something more deeper and more extraordinary. What is this? Narrator emails. After the second trailer, we see... wait, what? After second, we asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we had initially planned to use these in further promotional materials, we never found the perfect use for them. Here are a selection of those emails. Oh. This different monitor. From Lance Perkins, subject, I have burning questions. For instance, on a scale of Max Ernest to Salvador Dali. Oh, it just keeps going. Oh, I can't read all of those in fast enough. Let's see what is here. The Lounge, an earlier version of the Lounge. Oh, that's pretty cool. The Office, right? Cut the Office. Oh, there's more right here. What is this? Stanley's Office. From left to right, the evolution of Stanley's Office over time. The first was created in November 2011, the second in March 2012, and the third in 2013. They worked on this for 2 years with a game that seems really simplistic. Wow, they did put in a lot of work, I guess. And I guess something changed every time, huh? That's interesting. That is quite interesting, and also they were created in 2010, I guess, since the last evolution of Stanley's Office was 2013. Game design mockup. What is this? Okay. And this is the level that William, the level designer, sent David, the writer, as a kind of audition piece. The strength of this level got William hired to design the full game. Though much of the environment has changed, the basic layout and mock-up is still great. Yeah, it's still in the game. I guess it is. Do I get to? No, okay, I'm gonna first go to that room on our right. This might actually take up the whole video. Not gonna lie. What is this right here? Oh, there's a clock, right. The apartment timer. In the previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending, a timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. Really? Huh. But we never got a phone, or, I mean, we did get a phone, and it turned out to be BS, but the timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. Oh, Kai, because we did pick up the phone. That is a possible ending then. The cargo lift. The second version is functionally the same as what's in the final game, but wanted to look more like a place where cargo was actually stored. Oh, damn, that actually looks really weird. The other version is better. The cargo lift. Cargo lift was always intended to offer the choice of staying or jumping to a different path. However, after this early version, we decided we always wanted the option of the player to falling into his death. Oh, so then that proves my point. While we were while we were floating on the cargo lift, there was the option to jump off. So I was right. All right, that's good to know. Maintenance layout. The flow of hallways following the first two doors was important to get right, since players will replay them so many times. We discussed the number design, but ultimately it was the simplest version that won out. The simplest version, which is which one? I think the number one option, I guess. First choice: obey, staircase, disobey, lounge, maintenance. Right, because the number four. Oh, you don't go through the window. You just go through the lounge and then the maintenance. Yeah, so it's the one on the top left. Because I don't think we went through any rent or of any sort. Meeting room. Okay. What is this? Uh, Sending levers. These levers were originally part of the Zending. Player will pull a lever, then I describe what color level they pulled. I don't remember this. I guess we haven't covered that yet. Sending. This oh yeah, we haven't been here. This screenshot depicts an early version of the ending known as the Zending, which was eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. Yeah, I don't remember that. The Zending model. The ending went through in many iterations. This room represents the fourth version of the ending, and we thought it was completed but decided to abandon and change it again shortly after launch. The game is now paused. Escape menu. For a long time, we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. From the escape menu? Unfortunately, very few players realized this was what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. Oh! We started from the escape menu. Oh, so when you press escape, but then you click begin the game again. Oh, that's the one of the endings? What? Oh my god, that's so cool. No. Oh god, am I lagging? Hold up. What's going on? Hello? What happened? Oh god, I think I got stuck. Damn it! Oh no! I'm stuck! God damn it! Are you actually serious? No! Oh my god. Hopefully, I can figure out somehow to either connect this video to the last one, and you won't even be hearing this intro, or you have to hear the intro, and we're gonna be doing this all over again. So, but this time it's gonna be interesting because when we begin the game, last time we found out that there is a secret ending that not many people recognize until they get either accidentally did what they did, or accidentally did the ending, or they went back to the room that we saw in the last video and they went back and did the ending again. So that's what the ending we're gonna do if this thing loads. So hopefully, like, we can do this as quickly as possible. But yeah, now if this is continuing on from the last one, and then that's great. So then I don't even need to ask you guys how your day is going. But if it's being uploaded on another day, then how is your guys' day going? I am continuing from the last video. I just recorded that like 5 minutes ago. So now I'm recording this again. So now we're gonna do a secret ending. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna do it immediately.
All of his
But
co-workers were gone.
I'm gonna
What
first
could it
wait
mean?
through. I go through
Stanley
the
decided
left
to go
or
to the
right
meeting
door.
room. Perhaps he had simply
I'll go to
missed
the
a
left
memo.
door. I don't want to be in. I'll go to the right door actually. Alright, that's what I'm gonna
When
do.
Stanley
So
came to a
the
set
door
of two
closes
open
behind me,
doors,
right? I
he
can
entered
just do
the
it
door
here.
on his left.
Yeah, I know. So this is what I'm gonna do. Now, one of the secret endings in the game is to escape the game by pressing the escape button. So by pressing escape on your keyboard and you click begin the game again, that is one of the endings, actually. Now, I'm not sure if we get an achievement for that, but they did say that that is one of the endings, and I just wanted to
Stanley
do
knew
that.
the office layout like the back of his hand.
I'm
It was
hoping,
only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever
yeah,
they were.
just a matter for time.
Just a matter of time.
Is this because I
When
knew,
Stanley
like...
came to a set
Okay,
of two
no, this
open
is
doors,
continuing on from
he
the
entered
thing.
the door on his left.
I entered the door on the left, okay, yeah. So we're gonna be going back to the same settings, and hopefully, like,
Yet
we
there
can
was not a
do
single
this.
person here either. Feeling a
Alright,
wave
come
of
on,
disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping coming to a
Or
staircase, Stanley
you can
walked
go down the
upstairs to
stairs
his
and make the
boss's
video more
office.
interesting. Screw it, let's go downstairs. Downstairs. What is downstairs? Oh,
But
there's the
Stanley
car.
just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours.
Yeah,
he might
that's
be
my
fired
reason.
for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he
Nah,
looked
I'm looking
down?
at that.
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter,
Is this a
these
loop?
rooms were starting to look pretty familiar.
It's a
Were they simply
loop!
repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
This is all a
Oh,
dream.
what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to
this
lose
is one
his
of the
job.
rooms that
He
we saw
wasn't
in the
crazy
last one.
after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon.
Yeah,
I'll have to
I'm
go
gonna wake
back to
up.
my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
Huh.
So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh,
Then
I'm
he
actually
imagined himself
I'm actually
soaring
floating.
through space on a magical star field, and it too appeared.
Whoa!
It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid?
I don't
And
know.
then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner.
What could be this question?
Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and
Why do I
thinking?
have a narrator?
Now the voice was describing itself being
Being
considered by Stanley,
Oh
who
my
found it
god.
particularly
This is actually
strange.
funny.
I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream.
On what the
Did
narrative
the voice
saying?
not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream.
Right,
I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my
We're
job.
just gonna go back
Let me continue pushing the
to
buttons.
wherever we're in the
Please.
basement or whatever
It's
you want
all
to
I
call that.
want.
Why is
I
there only
want my
one card
apartment
too?
and my wife and my job. All
But you
I
don't have a
want is my
wife.
life
No,
exactly
you
the
only
way
have
it's always
you don't even
been.
have an apartment. You only have a job.
My life is normal. I am normal.
What is this?
Everything will be fine.
What is this meditation?
I am okay.
And why is eyes wide open? I'm still back where I was. No. That's interesting.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an
This is
office.
actually getting
I
real.
am real.
Oh my god.
Please, just someone
Oh
tell me I am
god.
real. I
This
must
is
be
where I
real. I
start
must be. Can
screaming,
anyone
getting
hear my
scared.
voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
What? What? Really? Everything just went black? And then what?
This is the story of a woman named
Huh?
Mariella.
Maria.
Mariella
What?
woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't.
But there's still
It
a
was
narrator in
comforting
your
to
voice
think this,
or in your head.
and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Oh, that's weird. Weird but interesting. Hey, is Stanley crazy then? Holy crap, is Stanley crazy then? That is a good question.
Gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
That's actually crazy. So, or I mean, is Stanley crazy?
When
That's
Stanley
a good
came to a
question.
set of two open doors,
What?
he entered the door on his
Oh
left.
my god, that's what? I'm just speechless about
Yet
that.
there was not a single
he just
person
died.
there either.
Of
Feeling a
craziness.
wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a
What?
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
That's so interestingly weird. Oh wow.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover
I'm
not
just
an
gonna just
indication
wait
of
until he
any
gets the
human
passcode,
life.
but that's
Shocked,
so weird.
unraveled, Stanley
Like,
wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this.
so then
What
is
dark
this all
secret
an
was being
illusion
held
or
from him?
not?
What he could not
Whether
have
is
known
the
was
room
that the keypad
that we
behind
were
the boss's
like that
desk
has everything
guarded
in
the
his of
terrible
the
truth
office
that his
real
boss had
or
been
not?
keeping from him.
What
And
is,
so
what
the
am I
boss
seeing
had
through my
assigned
eyes?
it an
Anything
extra
real?
secret pin number.
Is this still a game?
2845. Yet incredibly, by
It's
simply
such a
pushing
mind
random
teaser.
buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Amazing.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
There's no pathway to here, is it? Yeah, I always thought there was. I thought there was, might be, but there's not. Alright, we're gonna be going back to this escape hallway and go back into that big room that we saw.
When every path you can walk
You
has
know what
been
would be
created
crazy?
for you long in
If
advance,
this narrator
death
that's
becomes
speaking to us right
meaningless,
now
making life the same.
is the same
Do you
person who
see
saw
now?
us
Do you
dead.
see that Stanley was
Now let's
already
see. I want
dead
to see
from the
what's the
moment
name
he
of the
hit start?
narrator. It's gotta be the name of the narrator. Made using source by Valve. Da 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 da. Animation, model design, sound design, program edition level design, written design by an impeccable Kevin Brighting as the narrator. That's the name of of the male narrator. Of the female narrator, I guess we'll never know, huh? All right, this time we're gonna go right and see what's here. Let's see. There's the office clock that always stays at this specific time, but they don't have anything to say about it. There is the boss office. Screens from the development of the boss's office. Oh, nice. That's pretty cool. What's here? Maybe I should have gone on left first. I don't know. Oh, that's a whole other thing. Underground. Early version of the underground portion of the game. The mind controls facility and the escape. Oh, that's less noticeable, is it? Employee lounge. We're gonna get to that later. I think that's some other thing right there. Let's see here. Freedom ending. This was the first incarnation of the freedom ending. This game's alpha. That shit is beautiful. As the actual one. What's this? Countdown desk. One of the decks from an early version of the countdown ending. Freedom ending. This is the freedom ending as it existed in beta. Oh, this is more nicer. I would have liked this one more. Cause then there were like houses and buildings, and I'm like, how did that happen? There's the ending. That's where we got stuck. I don't know if I want to go back there. Countdown room, knowledge version of the countdown room. Okay, that's interesting. The monitor room elevator. For a time, the elevator in the monitor room could go up and down, with freedom above and countdown below. We abandoned this when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down, and placed the two enemies together instead. Oh, so they know how to. They didn't have a choice. Also, I think that's where the this thing ends. But yeah, we already saw that. Um, I'm not gonna go through there because I know I'm gonna get stuck. But we're gonna go through the last one and then head back and finally finish this ending right here, which is one of the cooler and more explanatory endings because you get to see what all the developers had to or the game creators did. Narrators and oh, okay. Camera provided the voice of the narrator recorded the dialogue for the diagram through 3 separate times over the 2 years of development. These are clips from early takes that were now used in the final games. Huh. Huh. That's interesting. And 2 years, oh my god. 2 years of narrating. Well, not probably every, like 365 times 2 days of narrating, but like, probably that's like still a lot, you gotta admit. I guess I think we started looked at everything, and this is where the game ends.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
I guess I'm pressing the off button. And
Can you see?
Oh.
Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Huh.
But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
I let myself be killed to see what happens because I already know that's one of the endings to get quit the game and or restart the game. So I want to see what happens here. Does it take me back to the office? Does it transition to another sequence or what? And so far it's just a blank screen. What's happening? Huh. Did it ultimately end where it takes me back to nowhere? Is this where I actually don't know. I'm actually waiting right now. We're gonna wait like 30 more seconds to see what happens, but I don't know what to say about this. I'm not the smartest person, so interpreting it is a little like difficult for me as well. But oh my god. So because I know the quitting is one of the endings. We've already discovered that in the last video. But it does seem like that the game is meant to quit because I'm still in the game. Like I can go